How are you keeping at the moment?
Keeping very well. Obviously, with the COVID-19 situation, it's quite tough. I've put on a little bit of weight, but I can soon lose that. But yeah, I'm healthy. I've got my children here. My daughter's 10 and 18 in a couple of weeks, and my little boy Jesse's 10, and he's keeping me busy with the homeschooling, which I know nothing about. But you know me, I have a go at anything, Scotty.
You must be finding it hard as well, because obviously, your whole life's been about being outdoors and being active and stuff. So being locked indoors must be quite difficult.
I think you can tell, Scott, can't you? Look at my face. I've put on a few pounds. So after all this, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back out and trying to lose a little bit anyway, because my missus keeps getting on my case a lot as well. So I can't even get a cuddle out of her no more. So hopefully, when it all dies down a little bit, I'll get back out there and be able to get back on the. We've got fields over the road, so I can go and have a little run and try and get myself fit again, really. But I do miss football. That's the main thing. I do miss it a lot.
And that's what we're here to talk to about.
Yeah.
Before we run through your career really from start to the end, and your memories of it and things like that. So if we start with your early days, starting out as a trainee at Ipswich before turning professional in '98. I mean, what were those days like for you?
Yeah, it was. Well, I got there when I was 9 years old. My uncle, Adi, he just took me on a couple of coaching courses, and I didn't realise I was any good at football. No one did, I don't think. We just used to mess around on the where I live on the council on the field with all my mates, and he took me, got me a trial over at Ipswich when I was 9, and I've just stayed there ever since. But I think for me, it all happened so quick, because when I was 15, I got in the England squads, and I was playing with like people like Jermaine Defoe, and you're like these sort of players, and for Liverpool, they're all from West Ham, and it all just comes so quick. And I think for me personally, on a personal note, it all just come too easy. I was just handed like big sign-on fees, and I was 17. I was thinking, I weren't worrying about schoolwork, and I think I just lost concentration. Really, I just went a bit crazy because I thought, this is easy, like, and that's the only. That's the thing I'd change about football, though. Just not the way it all comes so easy for me so early.
Was football kind of then, what you were settled on? Did you have anything else at the time that you thought about doing in the future?
No, that's the thing. I just didn't care about school. Obviously, I was just in there messing around with my friends and that, because I knew at 14 I already had a pro contract ready waiting for me when I was 17. So I didn't even care about school. But I wish now I would have concentrated more. Even when I got in the youth team, which we had like college courses, and I just probably wouldn't turn up and stuff. I'd rather just go in town with the boys and that, and just mess around. But I think looking back on it, I was young and naive, and I didn't really understand it at them days. That was obviously over 20 odd years ago now.
Was that kind of from all the excitement around football at the time and that as well? And you're seeing all these successful people while you're at Ipswich and stuff. Was it you in your mind when you're thinking, I want a bit of that?
Definitely. I was in the first team at 16 at Ipswich, so it was crazy. So I didn't. I thought how it all comes so easy, and you see it. You're training with players at 16 like Fanini George. You got Marcus Stewart later on. We got in the Premiership, and Richard Wright, Kieran Dyer, just to name a few. And it was just a bit surreal, really, at that age, playing with them sort of players and training with them. It was crazy.
And you made your Football League debut under George Burley at Ipswich. What was it like being part of the club at that time? Because they're having quite a successful period, weren't they?
Yeah, I was in the squad. We played Barnsley, I think it was, at Wembley in the playoff final to get to the Premiership, and we won 4-2. I was in the squad, but I didn't make it on the bench or nothing. But to be part of them celebrations and to go on the open top bus at 17, 18 years of age, and to go on the Premiership was really, really good. But like I said before, I think it overawed me a little bit. All the just being part of it at that age. I think I did get a little bit nervous a few times.
I can imagine, because you're surrounded by people who you probably look up to and that, and people who are quite famous at the time. So it must be quite hard for a 16-year-old.
Definitely, you train with them, and you're just chatting to them, like people like Kieran Dyer, who's in like the England squads on 21s in England. You think, can't believe you train with them and that, and the things they do in training, it's unbelievable, and you've always got to be on it. And I think at 16, 17, I did in the training, I held myself well, but when I did make my debut, I come on against Wolves, it was on Sky, but it was only like 4 minutes, and so I didn't really get a chance. But the next game we played Grimsby at home, and he put me on for half an hour, and in training I was unbeatable, and then got on the pitch to 20,000, 25,000 fans. I couldn't pass the ball to my teammate. I was just panicking for some reason, and don't know if it was nerves at that age, just being a part of him, playing with these sort of players, but it was crazy.
Back then, did you get any support at all from the club or anyone? Because I mean, these days, you know, sports psychology and all that kind of thing is massive. But I'm assuming back then it wasn't such a prevalent thing.
Yeah, we did. We had a psychologist. He had all the players if you want to go and see him. So I'd had a few meetings with him and that about just how it is at this, just being in the first team and how to try to handle it and just things like that. So that was all in place back then if you wanted to speak to someone. So that was which was a good thing about the club.
You made 5 appearances as a sub in your time at Ipswich. Do you feel a little bit hard done by or overlooked at that point, or was it just there's so many, you know, players at the team at that point?
Yeah, well, what it was is a season. I think we got promotion to the Premiership. I think I went to Napa, and I know I was on them. I never used to go away. I always look after myself, and I come back for pre-season, got on the scales, and I was like 2 stone heavier. I thought I didn't realise I was that heavy, and just took me ages to try and get myself fit again. Because George Burley said to me, if you're not going to kick a ball until you lose that weight. So I was with the fitness coach for like 3-4 weeks, just trying to get it down. And then we had Darren Bent coming through, and they took him away on tour. And obviously Benty was flying, and obviously you see how his career went. He had a great career. But since I couldn't, I just from there I think I struggled a little bit, and then I just carried on sort of like going out and stuff, and just weren't taking it serious enough at that age.
And looking back, how would you have sort of changed, you know, things from your early days?
I think it was just I would have just stayed back in Bury St Edmunds all the time where I lived, and just go to training, do my work, do extra, and get home. Don't worry about all the other stuff going out at the weekend, and it weren't good. But that was the culture back then. A lot of the players would go out and they'd ring it coming out, and you just got sucked into it really. But it's up to me. I'm my own man, so so I just changed things like that. Just focus on my football more. It's a short career. You get 14, 15 years if you're lucky to play at the top level. So I'd just forget all the boozing and stuff and just focus on the football and then do all that afterwards.
And then you went on to sign permanently for Boston after spells at Peterborough, Shrewsbury and Lincoln. But it was Peterborough where you made your most appearances in your career up to that point. Did you enjoy those days?
Yeah, well, I got to Boston because I had a year left on my contract at Ipswich, and Joe Raw was the manager, and I scored 6 goals in 8 games, and he said to me, at your stage of your career now, you need to be playing first team football. So I spoke to my agent at the time, and then Ipswich paid me up my whole year's contract, and then I just bought a house and moved to Boston, and then just signed for them, which was an unknown club, but we just got into the league then, so it weren't a bad standard. And then it only lasted a few months, and then I had Barry Fry wanted me to go down to Peterborough on loan actually for a month. And then I just went, because they were a league above at the time, whereas in League 2 at Boston, I thought, not a bad loan move, a league above, so I thought I'd just take a chance and went there. But it was crazy times. I had a story about Baz to get to sign my contract. We was doing a bit of keep ball, and he come over and said, "Logie, we want to sign you." He said, "How many years do you want?" I'm like, I'm sweating on the training pitch in the middle of the session. I said, I got a bit nervous. How many did everyone else usually have, Baz? Because I didn't have an agent then. I was doing it all on my own. He said, "You can have as many as you want. Most players only want 1.5 years." I was like, "Can I have 2.5, please, Baz?" Like a bit nervous. He said, "You can have 2.5's fine. I can give you this." He said, "After training, come back and sign it. It's all done. I've spoke to Boston, all done." And that was it. So I should have said 10.5 years, shouldn't I? But no, that was crazy. That was Baz, though. That's the way he was.
Were you there during the Big Ron Manager TV show, or had you left?
Yeah, I know. I was there. We got him in because apparently they couldn't afford to pay our wages. So I think they offered Baz, I don't know what it was, 100 grand or something, just to do a series for 6 weeks, I think. And it was, at that time, the club was a bit of a calamity. We had managers coming and going. Players didn't care. You could see on the footage, like people just kicking the balls away, saying I'm going home and that. And he called me in the office actually on the show because I'd pulled my hamstring, and he said, "I want my best players playing. Are you fit, Logan?" I was a bit nervous again. I was like, I knew I weren't really, but I just said, "Yeah, I'm all right. If you need me, I'll be all right. Are you fit or not?" He's playing, and I didn't start that game anyway. I come on for the last 20 minutes, but I think we lost to Rochdale away. But yeah, no, it was that was quite fun. A fun series. Everyone had a bit of banter. All my mates kept calling me and texting me about it.
Was it a little bit weird having like the cameras around all the time and stuff?
Yeah, to be fair, you didn't really notice them too much because you were just training, and obviously they'd call players out who they'd want to speak to, and then I think sometimes they make it worse than what it was, make some players look bad. Like they're trying to make Danny Crowe, who's one of my friends still now, and Sean St Ledger, who went on to have a great career. They tried to make them look bad and scupper some moves. Like Crowe is going to go to Forest, I think, and he always tells me about it now. He's gutted because it made him look bad, so they didn't want to sign him. But,
did any of it go to any of the players' heads as well, like all this newfound fame?
I don't think so. I think everyone was quite level-headed, really. I think we just missed out on playoffs that year as well. I think that might distract us a little bit as well. I think some people, like you say, could have caught up with them a little bit. I think I'm on TV watching the programme and stuff. But I think we missed out on the playoffs that year, which is a bit of a shame.
And then you end up moving to non-league to join Weymouth in 2006 in the conference. I mean, a lot of stories from that time, I imagine. It came to quite an interesting end, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I didn't really hear, though the club was called Weymouth. I've never heard of a club like that before, and got a call saying Weymouth one year. I said, "Where's that?" I didn't know where it was.
But you didn't know where it was.
No, so I thought I drove there. It took about 6 hours to get there. I was like, but then met them in a hotel, and they're all just paying crazy money at the time, actually, like for that level. So we're just like all the best players from non-league basically gone there. And midway through the season, we're doing well. We played Bury on BBC, I think. That was they must have had some money coming and stuff. And then we was told we was going to Portugal. So I had my suitcases packed. Me and Lee Elam, we lived near each other, so we went in town, got the sunglasses all ready to go and all that. Turned up, got in the change room ready to go, and Gary Hill comes in and says, "Lads, we're not going no more. You can all leave. We can't afford to pay your wages. Go and find your club." So at that point, everyone's looking at each other. What's going on here? You got Tully steaming off in his car down to Exeter. I'm going to talk to Buckle. I'm going to Exeter. I'm like, what do I do now? I'm thinking I'm sweating here. So I played a couple more games, and we was getting beat. I think Exeter beat us 5-0 at their place. They put me in centre midfield. I thought, what am I doing in here? So, and then obviously the story happens that Bestie and Tully know Bucks and Tiz, and I went over there they said come over for a week's trial sort of thing, of training that, and that was it. From there, I just stayed there obviously to the end of the season.
You say that was kind of like the weirdest point of your career, though, like because obviously you didn't really see it coming. Ready to go on a nice little jolly, and then suddenly you're out and you've got a job.
It was a freebie as well, so I was excited. I was ready to go, catch some rays, and obviously, see you later. We was all looking at each other thinking, what's going on? Obviously, everyone's got bills to pay and that, and everyone's panicking about are they going to get paid and stuff. So everyone just tried to get clubs all over the place, really.
And then you soon ended up joining City, snapped up by Tiz. How did that come about? How did you first meet Paul?
Tully spoke to Bucks, then Bucks rang me up, and then I just went over and just went for a training. Really, just met them all straight to the training ground, and just trained. And I was a bit nervous to start with, obviously a new team and that, but they're a great bunch of lads. I knew a few of them, obviously from Weymouth, so it weren't too bad. And just went from there. And then obviously they said to me they can give me a contract at the end of the season, which I was happy with, and that's how it all happened.
And do you feel having that contract till the end of the season gave you something to, like measure yourself against, and something to, say, I want to earn another one just by showing you what I can do?
Definitely, because Exeter were in a good position when I went there, so I knew hopefully we could have a chance of going up that season. Obviously, as you know, you'll probably talk about it a little later, so it didn't work out that we didn't go up, but it was just a great club to be at as well. When I got there, it was just so much more professional than a lot of the other clubs I've been to, and it was run right, and it was just a family-run club, which I loved.
And what's your first opinions of Tiz? Obviously, probably a little different to other managers that you worked under.
Yeah, dressed good, the bald head and all that. Yeah, I thought he was just so relaxed. I never had no one like that, manager like that. He'd like, if I'd have had a bad game, he wouldn't sometimes hand me in front of the lads. He'd pull you in next day or on the Monday in training. He'd explain to you what he wants from you. This is what I need you to do. He always said a LOGIE on the move is better than a LOGIE not on the move. So I learned that over the time, and just done extra in training and that. And he was just good for me at that time in my career.
How much do you think the boost of you guys from Weymouth joining the team was for them pushing on and making Wembley that year?
I think it was a good boost because obviously you got Tully. He was good right back when he was up and down, give everything. You got Leland, skills, and then obviously I come in there, different sort of striker what they had at the time. So I think the three different blends helped the team out as well, and the quality they already had there anyway was good enough to go up that season really.
You made your City debut pretty quickly as a sub against Woking at St James Park. Do you remember much about that? I assume you probably played James Park before.
Yeah, I played there before, but just obviously just sitting there waiting to come on and stuff. I can't remember much about the game, to be fair, or the result. But you always just want to get on and try and make a statement straight away. You want to have a good first touch, didn't you? Or just like have a good solid 20 minutes. But I don't know if you remember the score of the game, but for me personally, it's just good to get my first few minutes on the pitch and just be part of the team.
So end up at playing Oxford in the playoffs that season.
You ain't talking about this penalty, are you?
I was going to say, kind of shoot out in the second game and you step up, everyone's saying, oh, he never misses, he won't miss. And then suddenly you're almost by the halfway line about to take your run up. I mean, what was going on there?
It was crazy. In training, I never miss. It's too easy. I'm just winding the goalkeepers up, getting angry, Jonesy, getting angry, Ricey, all of them. But I don't know what happened. I got out there, I thought this is easy. And like you said, I took the run up. It was the longest run up I've ever took. The time I got to the ball, I was sweating. I was out of breath. That's how long the run up was. And yeah, it was just terrible. I don't know what it was. Like you say, was it the nerves or of knowing? But it's totally different to training. Yeah. But I never took that run up before. So.
And in that, would you have too long to think about what you're doing then? Change your mind a few times, or?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Usually, I take about 3 steps and just put it in the corner, and then run off and celebrate. The game over. But yeah, like I don't know what happened. The nerves kicked in. I took a 2-mile run up. Terrible.
Thankfully, though, Steve saves the day and scores the winning penalty as well.
Yeah, Toll's got me out of jail, so he always reminds me about that when I'm texting him now and then. So no, he done me a favour. Has a good pen, to be fair.
And then obviously City would go on to sadly lose at Wembley to Morecambe 2-1 that year. What's it like to lose at Wembley? I mean, the excitement of getting there must have been crazy, but that after 90 minutes, you must be so deflated, I guess.
Yeah, it was. I think because it's the first time we've been there as a team. It got to us. We had the suits fitting and all that, and we weren't ourselves really. We all looked nervous. We weren't relaxed. So obviously the following year we changed all that anyway. We said when there's no suits, go in your track suits like you're playing a home game or away game, and just go and relax, enjoy it. But I think the first year, I think we weren't relaxed, and we just got carried away with all the emotions of the game, and it just wasn't to be that year. And I think that did put us in good stead for the season after, to be fair.
What was it like, in the dressing room when the games ended, when getting so close to that promotion?
It was horrible. Everyone was down. There was not many people talking. Obviously, players are out of contract as well, and you think you're not going to see the lads again, sort of thing. And it was just one of them. You just want to get home and just get the summer out of the way, and then assess where you're going to be, sort of thing, and just hopefully go again next year with the same group, because we had a great group, and we knew if we stayed together, we would have a chance of going up automatically the year after.
And I mean, you really kicked off the next season as well, scoring 18 and 41. Were you really enjoying yourself at that point?
Yeah, well, the story before that was the season we got didn't make it against Morecambe. Tiz rang me up and said he can't keep me. Club can't keep me, and I was like, because I was living in Weymouth at the time, and I was on my bed. Actually, I ain't gonna lie, I was on the bed like virtually in tears, thinking to my missus at the time, me and Joe said, "So what am I gonna do now?" So I was walked in town in Weymouth just on my own, just to process what was going on, thinking I ain't got a club here. And I just texted Tiz. I don't know what I just texted him, said, "Paul, it's Richard. I don't care. I don't care about money. I just want to play. I want to stay. Just give me, if it's whatever you can give me. I'm happy just to stay. I just want to stay another season. I love it here. I love the club, the family." And I left it with him. He said, "Give me a few days," and then he got back to me, and that was crazy. And then they all sorted out, and I stayed there ever since. So lucky I was there, and lucky I did text him back.
Absolutely. Imagine where you would have ended. What would have happened otherwise? Like,
yeah, I could have just gone anywhere really. You just try and just find any club, didn't you? Just put your name out there. But I knew that club when I was there. Family was settled, and it was just a lovely club to be at, and the fans, everything about it, I just loved it. I didn't care if they paid me £50 a week. I was happy just to stay and prove myself, just and then take it from there.
And what was it about Exeter and that itself that really appealed to you so much that you wanted to stay and would do anything to stay?
It was just the whole area, and like the fans. It was like the club, all the people around it. Like I'd go and do all the bingo nights and stuff for the kids in the evenings. Like some players obviously lived in Bristol, so I couldn't do it. But I'd do anything, I'd say to them, if the club needs me to do anything, I'd go and open up a store in town or sign autographs, whatever they want me to do. I'm one of them players who give back to the club and the fans, because they're the one who pay our wages and love coming to see us. And I always used to get told off actually, because before the warm-ups I'd give like a training top away, or something like, I'll give a shirt away. So I never got paid no wages, I think, because we didn't have lots of kits, so they had to take the money out of your wages. But that's the sort of thing I'd done anyway. So, yeah, no, I just loved the club and everything about it.
Would you say a big part of it was that whole feeling wanted side of it? You know, getting asked to do all these things in the community, the fans, you know, coming up and chatting to you, seeing your name, asking for autographs. Did you feel really special at that point?
Definitely, I think I was one of them players who I needed that. I feel people to like me. Some of the other teams I went to, you feel like even at Peterborough, warming up, and you think I felt nervous because you feel like the fans. You have a bad touch, they're straight on you, but when I was at Exeter, like everyone, you know you're going to have a bad touch here and there, but the fans just get behind you as long as they see you working, which I took that from Stanno in the end, really, that he didn't stop, did he? He'd give 110%, and he is what the club was all about. So I just tried, if I could do like even 20-30% of what he done, running around, I knew that'd be good and fans would appreciate it.
And what kind of memories did you have of Stanno? You know, I mean, like you're saying, he would give, you know, his all the time, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he was so funny as well, Stanno, and he was always there for me. He loved me. He was always so, like, one time, it was at the Rotherham season when I got promotion. I was going through a bit of time. I was struggling with anxiety and stuff, and I was on panic attacks at home and stuff. It was crazy. I didn't know what was going on. And then we played Luton away, actually, and I couldn't play because I had to call the ambulance that night in the hotel because I had another panic attack. And I was on the bus, and afterwards, Stanno was the first one to come on the bus. So I was just waiting on the bus after the game because I was all over the place, and he just hugged me and gave me a kiss and said, "Mate, you'll be all right." You know what I mean? Things like that. And he's that sort of guy who's always there for me. And I could, if I want to chat to him, I know he'd always be there.
I mean, how did you cope as well with when the news broke about his sad passing?
Oh, it was terrible. I think it was after the Yeovil home game. I think it was, and we knew he was really, really sick. And but then some come in the change room and told Tiz, and yeah, it was football was irrelevant at that time. It was just felt so sad for Marie and the boys. It was such a sad few weeks and months. But Stanno wanted us to just go out there and just put a performance in every week, and I think that's what we did.
I mean, it's amazing to see just how much respect is still given to him and the family by City fans and anyone associated with the club to this day, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Stanno will never be forgotten. He is the talisman, really, of the club when he embedded what the club was about. And if every player Exeter do sign, go in there and give 100% what he gave every week, the club would be in a great place going forward.
So you end up staying at City after texting Tiz, and it kind of rejuvenates you as well, and you end up scoring a lot of goals. And it was a very, very good season for the club. I mean, what are your standout memories from that season?
I think it's just that, well, everyone, the players we had there, like Matty Gill and like Dean Moxey, it's free-flowing football. We didn't never hoof the ball. It was always play from the back. Rob Edwards just pulling the strings. It was just a great team to be at, and it was just one of them seasons where everything clicked. And we could change it. Tiz would just change the team. He wouldn't just play me or Mackie, and he'd change the team to the team we're playing. That's how detailed he was. He knew every move they made, sort of like their formation, their tactics. So even if you got left out, for me personally, if I was left out, I wouldn't mind. Jamie Mackie, on the other hand, he'd go crazy. He had to play, but he was a good player though, so he deserved to be in the team quite a lot. But I was one of them. I trusted Tiz to put the team out for that game. So I think that's how it worked. We all had a good chance in the season. All of us played a lot of minutes, and we as a team, no one really moaned at no one else if they were in the team. Everyone wanted everyone to do well, and I think that's what got us on that season.
We end up making playoffs again, this time facing, local neighbours Torquay. First leg, very late defeat and an uncharacteristic mistake from Jonesy at the end, which lets them take the lead.
Yeah, Tiz messed up the first leg. He put me on the bench, didn't he? But no, I come on that game actually, and I think I won a header, and Wayno got him behind and scored, and then obviously Calamity Jonesy. He was a good goalkeeper. No, he was a good goalkeeper, Jonesy, but sometimes his kicking maybe would. Fans used to get on his case a lot though, but overall he was a great goalkeeper, Jonesy, and it was unlucky hit Zabrowski, wasn't it? And then in. But yeah, that was tough going 2-1 down and having to go to Plainmoor and trying to get a result.
I mean, how are you feeling before that game? You know, knowing you have to overturn being behind, and you know, if they scored again, it was going to become even more difficult.
Yeah, I was more because obviously I was just hoping to start that game, and because we didn't know the team, and then Tiz obviously announced that I was in the team, and going there, you know, it's a tough place to go. It's local rivals as well, and when he said I was starting, I just wanted to go and try and put on a good show. And I like the white kit, to be fair. So when we had that out, I thought it was something about that white kit I always like wearing. So I knew it was going to be our day.
It was quite a tough going hour, wasn't it? Really, in that game,
Yeah.
they go 3-1 up, and what are you thinking then? With 25
Well,
minutes
I've seen it all back now, and I didn't realise how crazy they were all going on the bench, like they'd won it, and Bucks, everyone's giving it, going like they think they're there 3-1 up on aggregate, and they think it's time up, good night. But obviously Rob Edwards went on that mazy run, didn't he? And then cut it back to Ryan, and then he's Ryan Harley, another player. What a player we had there! And
Love playing with him, I bet, didn't you?
yeah, he's total football. Him and Gilly in there, just pulling the strings all the time. But they were good players.
What a finish as well. What a finish from Ryan to get it in that corner.
Oh,
The crowd of box of players as well, wasn't it?
One of them players. You don't know what foot he was. You don't know if he was left or right footed. He was unreal. That boy. He was a great player, and obviously went on to bigger things in his career. But no, it was a great finish to get us back in it.
And then you end up scoring the goal that looks like it's sending City to Wembley. I mean, how are you feeling at that point?
I don't know.
You ran off delighted.
The penalty before that, though, I got took out, but I don't know if I dived or what. Rayner and Dabrowski cleaned me out. But I usually want the penalties, but I don't know why I was a bit nervous. I thought, I don't want this. I think the season before. So then Watto come on, obviously, little Watto. And he showed confidence to take that penalty because I know I didn't want to get on it.
Talk us through your header, though. I mean, you must have been delighted when that went in.
Crazy. Great cross from Wayno. Just managed to get in above Toddy. Obviously, Toddy used to be at Exeter, so I told him, mate, I'm coming for him. Don't worry about it. And obviously, that was a sweet header, and the celebrations were crazy.
Absolutely, especially when Wayne makes completely sure of it, and then the whole place is going mad. I mean, Torquay fans must have had not got a clue what hit them at that point.
Nah, our fans are crazy that day, though. I don't know how many fans we had there, but I feel like we took over the stadium. But I did feel for Torquay fans because it's tough seeing your team 3-1 up probably, and then to 30 minutes to go, you think you're probably going to go to Wembley, but we've got to worry about ourselves. And then it was just a great comeback and one of them memories what I'll never forget.
And then your mate Tully gets himself a bit famous on the on TV and internet by swearing a couple of times in an interview.
Yeah, he was a bit naughty when he told us. It's funny. I remember I look back on that interview now and then, but that's Tully all action in the moment when that was funny.
And then make it to Wembley for the second time around, and like you said, the focus had changed a little bit, and you were doing things differently this year. Yeah,
we went like this year. Tiz said we're not going to get those suits and that. I don't know if the club could afford the suits at the time, actually. But now we said we're just going to go and put the track suits on. We're going to go there like it's another game, another home match and away match, and just go enjoy it. And because the year before we had the suits on, all getting hot before the game and clammy, but this was more relaxed, and I think it paid off.
Absolutely. I mean, and then when Rob Edwards scores and puts City ahead, it must make you a bit more relaxed as well, I guess.
Definitely early to get that goal. I think it was after about 20 minutes, was it something like that? And to Rob to get it as well, one of the talisman, one of the older players in the squad. It was a great feeling, and we just held on that day. We had a few more chances, but the main thing is just getting promotion. And it was a great occasion for us and the fans to just to finally win there.
What goes through your mind as soon as that whistle's blown? Can you remember what you were thinking?
I just couldn't wait to get the medal and just like get the champagne popping, and then obviously next season. Just looking forward to next season, hopefully, and try and do it all again.
What's that walk like up all those steps? Because it's a long way to get your medal, isn't it?
Yeah, it was tiring after playing 90 minutes in that heat as well. But now it's just adrenaline rush. You just get up there, and it's a great feeling to the fans on the way up. See my daughter there. She was only probably about 4 or 5 at the time. Give her my medal and that. Things like memories. I've got pictures of her giving her the medal and stuff. Memories like that. Never be forgotten now. Things like that.
I haven't actually mentioned it to anyone else I spoke to yet, but obviously you had the bus parade not long after through the city centre. I mean, what was that like?
That was crazy because I didn't realise how many people live in Exeter. It was crazy though. You think there's gonna be a few people on the street, but it was full. It was packed, and then obviously went into the was at the cathedral with the mayor and that and things like that. It was crazy. Just one of them days you never forget. It was it was amazing.
Were the beers flowing as well that day, or did you have to be?
I think I was still hungover from the night before, so I had to slow down. I think that day, but no, I had a few. We had a few drinkers in the team, didn't we, that time? But we still managed to get the job done.
Yes, as we mentioned before, some great characters in the dressing room. You know, Danny, like yourself, Danny Seaborn, Jamie Mackey, Jonesy. I mean, what were they like? I mean, you must have some interesting stories from hanging out with those guys.
Yeah, when I first come down, obviously, me and Bestie used to travel down and sometimes stay down, and because we lived in Weymouth still, so they lived in Shaldon at the time. Him, Mackie, Jonesy, and Scrat or Danny Seaborn, and I went there and I remember it like I'll never ate it again. They cooked me burritos. I thought, I never had them before. Then I had it. 2 hours later, sick, kept being sick, so I never ate a burrito since, and I never let them cook for me again. So that's what I remember about them boys. But no, we had fun times. They took me under their wing a little bit. I'd stay over some days, so they keep driving there and back me in. Bestie said just let us stay there and things like that. So no, it was all good team camaraderie really, and to be a part of a team with them sort of players was for me was a blessing to be part of that.
And you're back in the Football League now with Exeter as well, the following season. I mean, did anyone really expect it to pan out like it did, you know, and then get a second promotion in 2 years?
I've seen it before. A lot of teams you look at now, they get promoted from the conference and they usually bounce again, or they're always around the playoffs. So if we knew we kept that squad together in the league, I knew we'd have a good chance. But you never really think you're gonna till you find out the calibre of players and teams in that playing against, because obviously the conferences and then League Two is a lot different, isn't it? So once you got playing against these teams and we started like popping it around them, they thought, what's going on here? A lot of the teams, because they're people who used to just launching the ball, but we played out from the back all the time. Didn't matter if we give the ball away, just keep trying, give it to Gilly, and just keep passing through the lines. Really, it was just a great team. The way we just passed the ball and everyone was confident to have the ball.
Did you feel like you approached most of the games with no fear as well?
Yeah, a lot of the games definitely. We just go into the games and just go and play our football. That's what we said. Don't worry if you give it away, just keep trying it. And Tiz would do that in training. A lot of keep ball sessions, passing drills. That's what it's about. Sometimes, obviously, we'd have to go long and get the second balls. With some teams, we knew we'd have to do that. But most of the time, we'd try and get the ball down and keep on the carpet and just play football the right way.
And you end up coming down to the final day of the season away at Rotherham as well, needing a win to get that automatic promotion. I mean, and then you pop up at the far post and head the ball into the back of the net. I mean, how are you feeling at that point?
Oh, it was mad. I can't remember if it was Tiz or Stevie P. One of them said to me, "You're going to come on and score the winner today." And obviously, I was just itching to get on. And obviously, I think it was 60-odd minutes, and they brought me on. And then obviously, to get the goal was LOGIE header. I always scored a lot of headers, so it was just a great feeling. As you can see, there weren't many fans there. Obviously, it was at the what was the stadium called again? It was.
I should have looked this up because I had to see.
It's closed down now. Anyway,
running track around it.
Yeah, running track. So it was massive. Like, and there was no one there really. So, but it was just a crazy occasion to know that we didn't know the other results at the time, so we didn't know till the end of the game if we got promotion. But then obviously see Stevie P on the phone and told us, and it was just crazy scenes really.
Was everyone really super focused that day because you know what you had to achieve?
Yeah, we weren't much. We was just relaxed, but everyone knew if we won, we'd go up. So we're just real focused to keep to the plan what we worked on all week. And then Rotherham's a tough place to go. Really, they're a strong team, but we just held it all together on the day and managed to get the win and take us up to League One.
And what were the celebrations like after that? I can't imagine that Rotherham's the most glamorous of places to be celebrating your first promotion to League One with Exeter.
No, it was crazy. It sounds like the club really, because my brother drove down from Bury St Edmunds, and he was after the game. He was outside the change room bit. And Stevie P went up to him and said, "What are you doing out? What are you doing out here? Get in there. You're part of the team." And my brother's in there. He's on Sky. We're all like this, shirt flag, things like that. Like, a lot of clubs probably wouldn't do that, but that's what we were, because we used to come to the training ground a lot and they got to know him, and for him as well, it was like buzzy. He couldn't believe it. We're all in there to share with my brother as well. It was one of them days I'll never forget.
Was it like at that time? Did you feel like it was a big family as well? Like
yeah, that's what it was. It was like a big family. It's like, obviously, because where I grew up in Bury St Edmunds, so a lot of all my family are that way. So to move away with like just me and my missus and that, that's all we had. So felt like you had a bigger family with Exeter and the players and just everyone, the fans, everyone. It was just a great club to be a part of, and if I ever get the chance when I'm growing old, so I want to try and pass away down that way. I want to go down there and go growing old next Devon way, because it's a lovely place in the world to live.
You'd be welcome back with open arms, I think, as well.
Cheers. Appreciate it.
And then obviously getting City promoted to League One, for the first time must have been quite something to be proud of.
Yeah, it was. It was obviously from bouncing up twice in a row to get into League One. I never thought probably I'd get to that level again. Thought I'd just be conference, maybe League Two, but to get that goal and to get us to get into League One was the teams you're playing against, like Leeds. You're thinking it's madness, but it was just a great achievement for the club to take them into League One, and the boys relishing the challenge.
And you were part of the team that got City's still highest finish in League One, narrowly missing out on the playoffs. It must have been hard because you worked so hard that season and came so close.
Definitely. I think, was it the last game against Sheffield Wednesday, was it? When was Tiz on the bench and brought himself on.
Yeah. Troy runs.
I wanted my appearance feeling. How's Tiz getting on in front of me? I thought, I've got to retire here. And you got your gaffer getting on before you? No, but I think because he's never played it there. It's the only club he's never played at. So I think there's something to do with that. So he done all right when he come on, didn't he?
Yeah. Was that Troy Archibald Hemble running?
Troy,
was that one of the unexpected things to happen in your time?
Oh yeah, that was Troy. Done that things in training. He was a good defender, but you could put him up front. He could do that, and it was a great finish, wasn't it, from him?
Have you ever seen anyone's legs going so fast though? Was that?
No, I haven't. Them go gadget legs. They were crazy.
That's been the best shoulder drop ever. That as well.
I know. No, he was. That was decent though. Troy, he's a great lad though, and got injured a lot though, Troy. But he was another good player that Tiz managed to get in. He'd always get players in from who you didn't know about, and he'd change them into like players who can go and play in Championship and Premiership, like a lot of lads did do.
Just aside from this, in a Q&A recently, Matt Taylor said you were one player from his playing days that he'd love to have in the squad now. I mean, as you're saying, you'd love to come back to Exeter. Imagine that. Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. Big Matt, he was skipper when I was there. He was he weren't that crazy as a captain. He was always there for you, but he wanted things done right in training. It'd be the same. He'd give everything. Obviously, I took a play against him up like in games and stuff in training. He wouldn't care. He'd smash me, but that's what you want from your skipper, don't you? You want someone who's going to be all action, and to get them praises from Matt, he's doing a great job at Exeter. Great. So tell him I'll lose 3-4 stone and I'll try and be fit for next season, yeah?
You end up leaving City after they get relegated from League One. How were you feeling about that at that point? Were you a bit gutted?
Yeah, I was. Well, towards the end, I was like training with like the kids and stuff, and I was training on my own. I don't know why that really happened. Really, I don't know if I just fell out of favour. Really, so I knew that was sort of coming at the end of that season, but I was obviously got the call from Wickham, and I went there, but I didn't. As soon as I left Exeter, I weren't really the same. I didn't really want to play football. Really, didn't really enjoy it. I was kind of travelling from where I lived in Bury St Edmunds to Wickham every day. It was like a 3-hour journey, leaving at 6 in the morning, and train, get home about 5. You think this ain't for me, really. So summed it up. I scored a goal against Bristol Rovers, my only goal, and the game got called off because I'm lightning. So
you knew that was it then.
I knew that was it. Yeah. So I spoke to Gareth Ainsworth. He got the job when our other manager got the sack, and they said that they didn't really want me, sort of thing. And I was like, so I just said fair enough, and then that was it. I just just sort of left, and then just wound down from them really, because it weren't really the same. As soon as I left Exeter, just wasn't really enjoying it really.
Was part of it as well losing, all your teammates and everything like that, and all those people that you love being around? Yeah,
definitely. It was different, sort of like at Exeter. It was different going to a new club, and they're all friends anyway. You don't really feel like you're fitting that well. So to leave like to all the boys and at the time, even the fans and things like that, it was just I didn't really enjoy it after that really. So I knew after a few months it was time just to stop football and then just try and get into the real world really.
You mentioned a little bit about Matt there as well. What was he like as a player? You said like he's a bit no nonsense really, wasn't he? But he just loved his football, didn't he?
Yeah, he always give 100%, and he'd always score goals for us as well. For a centre half, he'd score some critical goals for us all the time. He wasn't really a big shouter, holler at people, but he just got the job done, and Tiz knew he could trust him. So I think that's why Tiz gave him the captaincy, and he was always going to go on to be a coach and a manager. I think you could see it when when I was there. And I went and watched him a few times when he played Colchester. I've come to the games and that, and Exeter still playing the same sexy football, I like to say, passing it. And yeah, they've got some great players. So I think hopefully if they do get in the playoffs, that playoffs this season, I think they'll be one of the teams to beat this season if it continues.
Do you think he's adapted well to the challenge as well? I mean, obviously big shoes to fill after Tiz had been here for so long.
Definitely. I honestly thought start of it might be tough for him, but he's just gone in there, and then the team's just been getting better and better. And I think the fans still enjoying the players they've got there and the way they're playing. I think he's just going to go on to be a successful manager throughout his career, and hopefully he will go to the top if he keeps doing what he's doing at Exeter.
Looking back on you again, the fans absolutely loved you when you played for the club. I mean, I think it was your personality and the fact you could score goals and the things you did for the club. I mean, that relationship's still pretty strong now, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, I still sometimes get fan messages, and like people at some old fan when I was there, their daughter was like 8 at the time, and she's just turned 18. They still ask me now, can I do like FaceTimes or send a message, or people want autographs, whatever. But that's, for me, that's still good. It shows that they're still thinking about me, and that's why the club means so much to me. And yeah, like I said, hopefully when the kids and Jesse gets to 20, he can move out on his own. I'll be moving back down there. She'll be seeing a lot more of me when I'm 60 and onwards.
We'll be able to do some interviews face to face, hopefully, then as well.
Definitely, yeah. I need to try and get on the radio down there, I think, and have a bit of banter down.
We would love to have you on if you were down. Yeah.
We'll get Kirky and get them out of the way, shall we, and then we'll take over.
You end up scoring 48 goals in 108 appearances, which is pretty decent record, to be fair, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, it weren't too bad. A lot of the time, I think I should have scored more, really, but like Tiz will tell you if you ever speak to him, some months I go missing, and then I have 3-4 months I'll be flying. But I was one of them, I had to try and stay motivated. And then Tiz knew when I weren't at it, so he'd leave me at the team a lot. And then he knew when I'd be at it, and then I'd be in the team. So it's up to me personally to make sure I was always on it, really, to get in the team.
And what would you say was your favourite match you played in at Exeter? Or a couple if you had to narrow it down?
I'm still going to go. I'm going to have to say that Torquay game, really, because the atmosphere and going 3-1 down, you thinking it's it, and the emotions from the lows, and then to go up. That I think that's the game that's always going to stick with me. What
about goal as well?
It was in when I first went there from Weymouth. We played Morecambe. That someone's put one of the goals on there. It's a sick goal. Someone played over the top, dropped on the side off it, then top corner. And yeah, that's probably about 20 yards. So that's probably one of my favourite goals, technically. But the Torquay header as well, that was special. Good header.
I don't know if you've seen, but you're part of the Legends goal scoring wall, which is as you come in the jungle path.
Yeah, I've not.
You on there? I mean, that must be quite a nice touch for you as well.
Definitely. I've not been there yet, but obviously when I do go to get a game in, hopefully in next year or so when the football's back, I'll have a look at it. But I've seen it on Facebook and stuff, and to be on there with the likes of like Jaden Stockley, you got Stanno, you got Ollie Watkins, seeing them sort of players, that even being near them sort of players, it's just like a privilege to be part of it. And yeah, hopefully it won't get washed off too soon, rub me off too soon for someone else. But it's nice to be there. At least I've been on there, and that's quality.
Finally, got to ask you this as well. Kirky asked me to ask you, which of the goals gave you the most pleasure? Would you say the Torquay or the Rotherham one?
Kirky, say which one gave him the most pleasure? Or?
Which one gave you the most pleasure, scoring against Torquay or Rotherham?
It's a tough one, different things, but I think for the emotions, the Torquay game, because the atmosphere, I think the Rotherham was important, obviously, but with the atmosphere, the fans, and just it was nuts. It was crazy. The scenes just went crazy. Tiz on the bench and Stevie P, you could see them going nuts. Yeah, it was just. I think that was probably the best one.
Yes. Speaking of Steve Perryman as well, I mean, did he have a big influence on your career as well? As someone who's been, seen it all, and someone who's got so much experience, was he good to have around to talk to if you ever had any concerns or anything?
Yeah, well, I was texting Lee Elam actually the other day because I said I was coming on here, and we were saying about Stevie P, how much he'd done for the players. He'd do technical sessions with everyone just with the ball. It was crazy how much he just wanted everyone to pass it, and the touch, he wanted your touch, and he was always there for you. He was always around the training pitch. You'd see him in the field. You'd see him picking leaves out the trees when you're training. He just pops up from anywhere. Where's Wallace? Where's Stevie P? But Yeah, it was just crazy. He was always there for you for a chat. If you needed anything, he's one of them blokes. He's a good character, and I wish him all the best in what he's doing. It was
You managed to keep in touch with him at all?
Not Stevie P. I haven't. No, I don't know what he's doing these days. Is he? Because he went to MK when he was a kid, and
he's just released a book on his career. I know. I mean, you
was
might
he?
in that maybe.
I'll have a little look at that. Yeah, I'll have to have a little read of that. So no, he was a great player for Tottenham when he's a legend there. So no, he's a great bloke, Stevie P.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for your time, and hopefully we'll see you down at St James Park next season when things get back to normal. You have to let us know if you're coming down.
Like I said, Scott, when I lose this weight, I'm coming back for a striker. I'm going to try and get another contract.
I'll let Matty know that you
let Matty know. See if he's got any room for me. I'll just sit on the bench, bring him on for 2 minutes. That's all I need.
You'll never lose that striker's instinct, will you?
Nah, I can't move like the rest of them, but I'm always in the right place at the right time.
Just get in the box and you'll nod it in.
You know it, Scotty.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Scott, mate. Legend.